Alright, so I'm really not afraid to admit when I was wrong. And I gotta apologize to everybody out there. I should have listened to you. Should have listened to all of you about this Harley Sportster modification. Alright everybody, what is going on? Thanks for tuning in to another video today. As you can see, we are back out on the lovely streets of Philadelphia on a nice summer day. As you know, we travel around Philly on the Sportster and Pennsylvania and the surrounding areas, all that good stuff, talking motorcycles, meeting up with people. So if you are into any of that cool stuff, make sure you go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on everything we got going on for the rest of the year. We got some cool rides and meetups that we're going to be trying to plan throughout the rest of the year, later into summer and into fall. So again, make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram too, @TheMotoJohn, so you can make sure you stay up to date on all that fun stuff that's going to be coming up. So like I said, we're out on Philly on a beautiful summer day, actually heading down towards South Philly right now. We're going to take a little cruise around, hopefully get a look at some of the stadium area. I don't think I've ever taken you guys down that far into South Philly. Maybe we'll even do a quick little lap or loop around the Navy Yard, take a look at some of the big ships and stuff down there. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see what we get into. We'll check out some stadiums, check out the Navy Yard, maybe take some pics, some different stuff like that. But if you've been tuning in for a while now, you know some of the things that we talk about a lot here, you know, talking about different bikes and stuff, Sportsters, a lot about the Sportsters, is modifications, all the different ways that you can modify a Sportster or any bike really, and how those modifications kind of change the bike, how they impact the bike from performance or looks. And I've made plenty of videos about the different mods that I've done to my Sportster so far, you know, Saddleman seat, cafe fairing, you know, whatever it might be, Rogue Rider industry lights, different stuff like that. I like doing those, and I like watching them from other people too, because like I always say, this stuff is expensive. You know, you want to make sure that it's exactly what you want to put on your bike, make sure it looks the way you want, make sure it makes it perform the way you want before you actually invest the money into putting it on the bike. So I like making those videos to give some insight for everybody else out there, and I like watching everybody's videos on those as well. And some of the feedback that I've been getting for a while about one modification in particular that I hadn't actually done yet to my bike is what I want to talk about today. And every time I make a video on modifications about my bike, everybody says, oh, you got to get this one, you got to get this one, it's the best mod for the Sportster, it's the best thing you can do to upgrade your Sportster. And I had always kind of had intentions of doing it, but it just took me forever. It took me forever to actually pull the trigger and actually do it. I don't know why. And I'm telling you what, I wish I would have listened to all of you sooner. So much sooner, because all of you that were telling me to do this modification were 100% right. And I wish I would have done this so much earlier. Maybe even the first thing that I ever did to my bike. I wish I would have done it. And that's why I gotta apologize to all you out there that were telling me to do it. It's not that I didn't believe you, but I was just taking my sweet old time and actually doing it. So I gotta apologize to everybody, because all the way back on my videos, everybody's telling me, do this, it's gonna change the bike, it's gonna change the bike, it's awesome. And now that I finally did it, and I've had it on there for a few weeks and I've seen the impact, finally gotta hop on and talk a little bit about it. So what is that modification that everyone was telling me I needed to get? It's the rear suspension. I finally upgraded the rear suspension on my Sportster. And like I said, apologies to everyone out there. Man, everybody was telling me on my videos to do it for the longest time. The main one was the video I made about the first upgrade that you should make to your Sportster, and in my opinion, for me, it was the swing arm bag that I threw on there. Because like I was saying, the swing arm bag was a video that I made talking about the very first upgrade that I did to my bike. And the reason that I had done that was basically just because I needed to carry a few things. You know, I needed to throw some water in there, needed to throw a hat in there, so it was super functional, super convenient. And so on that video, talking about that as the first modification, a lot of people were like, no way, suspension, you gotta go suspension, it changes the bike for the better, you know, huge upgrade over stock. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I mean, I'm sure I'll get to it, you know, at some point. But honestly, I wish I would have listened to everybody say that much earlier, because the new suspension that I got has honestly, and I'm not exaggerating here, has just drastically improved the bike for the better. So the suspension that I ended up getting and putting on here is the Progressive suspension 412 heavy duty shocks in the all black, of course. So I got the 12-inch heavy duty Progressive 412s, and it's made a world of difference. I mean, the way that it goes over bumps now, you're still feeling stuff, but you're not getting that smack that a lot of my Sportster riders out there, they know what I'm talking about. Just that smack when you hit something and it kind of jolts you. So here we just got deep into South Philly right now. You're taking a look at Citizens Bank Park right there where the Phillies play. We got Lincoln Financial over here. That's where the Eagles play. This is kind of like the stadium complex that you probably hear people talk about here in Philly. Tailgating, all that good stuff. Baseball stadium, football stadium. As we get a little farther up here, and then we got Wells Fargo down here, so that's cool. If nobody's ever seen some of this stuff, you get to take a look at it today. That's where the Flyers play, Sixers play. So that was a cool look at that stuff. And then we're going to keep heading south down Broad Street here, down towards the Navy Yard. You guys have seen me in Broad Street around the city, but this is like way far, about as south as you can go on Broad Street down towards the stadiums. But yeah, like I was saying, so the new suspension, I mean, it's made a world of difference. We're going to pull over here in a second and just take a quick look at it. But a lot of these different bumps and things now, it's more of just kind of, you're feeling them, but it's more of just kind of a glide over it or a roll over it, for example. A lot of it's not really like smacking me in the tailbone like it was previously. And so from my experience so far, after having these on here for a little while, here's a big bump right here. Let's see how it does. I mean, you feel it, but that was a big one. But some of these other ones that I'm going across right now, they're just kind of like very much smoothed out over what it used to be compared to stock. And I'm not even going to claim to know whatever technology is going on in there that's different than the stock shocks. All I can say is that it was better, and it's definitely worth it. And these weren't even the most expensive ones. I mean, these were the Progressive 412s, like I said. Look at that cool shot of the Navy Yard again here. I want to see if we can pull over and get some more looks at that. But anyways, these weren't even the best ones, and they made such a huge difference. These were about 350 bucks, I think. And like I said, I'm loving these shocks so far. Oh, look at that. We made it all the way down here into the Navy Yard. I don't even know if you're supposed to be driving on this, I guess. I mean, there's vehicles over here. Let's take a look at some of these boats and take a look at some of these shocks. So here's a look at the shocks installed again. You got the Progressive logo here, obviously just simple bolt on, take the old ones off, put the new ones on. So pretty basic, pretty simple. Again, that's what they're going to look like once they're installed. Obviously got the all black to match the rest of the bike. One thing that I was curious about what was going to happen, so the 12-inch is only a ½ inch bigger than the 11.5 that comes stock, and it did raise up the back just a little bit. I don't know if you can notice that the back is elevated just a little bit more. Obviously, if you get some of those bigger ones, they come in like 12, 12.5, 13. That's going to lift it up even more. I have heard that that impacts the front. I didn't want to impact that too much. I didn't want to have to replace the front just yet, so I felt like the 12 was enough, that it wasn't that big over stock, that it wasn't going to have too much impact up there. But you can definitely see it's elevated a little bit. I guess apparently the higher you elevate that, you might have to change out the front. But I don't think this is too elevated. It's been riding and rolling pretty good so far. Here's a look at it from the other side. Like I said, rolling good, smoothing out some of those bumps. You're still taking a little bit, like I said, you know, some of them, I mean, it's just unavoidable. It's still just a Sportster frame, but this has been an absolutely amazing upgrade. While we're down here, let's get you a look at the Navy Yard here. This is pretty cool. I've been down here a couple times, but it's always cool to get back and check this stuff out. Very cool. So yeah, that was a quick look at the shocks there as we come up out of the Navy Yard. Hopefully I can figure out how to get back out of here. Like I said, great modification, 100%. Should have listened to all of you out there a long time ago. Everybody was telling me, video after video. Even like on Instagram and stuff, like, yeah, you gotta do the shocks, Like, this was my experience, and I appreciate all that stuff because a lot of that actually helped me make my decision to actually get these from some of those messages and comments and like chatting with different people and stuff and getting some of their feedback on it. Hope some of my feedback can help anybody out there too that has any questions on these. If you have any questions on these shocks, drop them down there. I can let you know exactly what it's like. Like I said, definitely smooths out a lot of these bumps, makes it a lot more comfortable. You're still going to be taking some impact. Like I said, it's still just a Sportster frame, but whatever's going on inside those shocks, man, like 100% upgrade over the stock. There's so many little like bumps and inflections in the road that I used to kind of have to like brace myself for because I knew what it was going to feel like, and now it's kind of, you're going over them, you're feeling them, but it's not impacting you at all. You know, it's not affecting the ride. It just kind of feels much cleaner, much smoother, much more of a normal experience than getting smacked with some of those stock shocks every now and then. So yeah, that's a little look at my experience with the new shocks, upgraded. Sorry to everybody out there, I should have listened to you earlier. Any other good tips and tricks, mods, all that good stuff, drop them down there in the comments, let me know. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Got you a look at the stadiums. You see those again as we're coming back up out of here, out of South Philly. A little look at the Navy Yard. Cool look at some of the ships and stuff. I think we're gonna keep cruising. Maybe we will take a left down in here to FDR Park down here in South Philly. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, as always, hope you enjoyed that conversation about the shocks. Quick look at South Philly, the stadium complex, the Navy Yard, all that fun stuff. And that'll wrap it up for now. As always, we'll catch you on the next one. Everybody out there, ride safe. It's the Moto John. We'll see y'all on down the road. Peace.